Alright, Wild Cane slow boost. Let's go. Okay. So immediately at the start of the stage, there's one just after you get the hint. This one. This is really, really fast. You can get the wind tunnel in like 2 seconds by doing this. Sometimes people do this. I don't understand that. You're losing half a second getting here. Like, I hit the wind tunnel at like 325 this time, but if you do the slow booster... 249. And I know you're a little bit higher up if you do this method, but trust me, that height means nothing. You make up this height in like an instant. Alright, ignore the free piece that I've got. If your piece is down Sandy Path, there's like a ton of slow boost you can do on it. When you run right there, I do a double slow boost on this one just because it tends to give me more speed. You get like a ton of speed from this. This slope here, it's a very steep slope. It's just steep enough to give you basically the max speed from it without cancelling your slow boost. And every time you come down Sandy Path this far, you definitely want to take this slope. Like, this is just normal punch assault speed. And then this is the slope boost speed that you will get from this slope. It is so much faster. So for example, if your piece was under the wings of two birds, this would be a wasted opportunity. When instead you could be doing this. You can also chain this speed to get on top of the head really fast for pieces like the fast Sandy Path walk. So essentially what you do is you take that speed from the slow boost and you immediately jump into the side of the head and then jump off of the slope of the head. And now you have a ton of height to get onto this platform and grab your piece. If you try to do this without a good enough slope boost, you will have like no speed and it will be very slow. This one's less important and you get like barely any speed from it, but on the way out of Sandy Path you can actually slope boost on this tiny slope here. Like this counts as a slope. And you don't get too much speed out of it, but it is faster to actually slope boost off the bat if you're going across. So this is how a pro would go down Sandy Path and back. Let's say I was going to Under the Wings of Two Birds and also coming back from it. It would look something like this. Over here, there's also a really pretentious slow boost you can do that's like super not important, but it can save you half a second if you're going past Armored Carpool area. And what you do actually is there is a very small slope right here. I say very small. That's actually quite a decent sized slope. It feels a lot smaller than it actually is. But on the way to Armored Carpool, you can actually boost off of this slope, and it makes you go quite fast. On the way to pieces like this. If your piece 2 is where the wind blows, and you're coming from this side of the stage where the sandy head is, this is quite a common scenario actually. It happens in a lot of sets. What you can do is you can go down, and there's a lot of slopes on the ground here. Like, I'm stood on a slope right now. The entire ring around this wind tunnel is a slope, so as you approach this chest piece, you can actually boost into it and get a ton of speed out of it. This is probably the hardest one, but if your piece 2 is a bird box, probably the one on the right, assuming you check the middle one, you can actually do an inverse slope boost to get through really quick. Now essentially what an inverse slope boost is if you're going up a slope that transitions onto a flat surface, if you drill dive right as you meet the flat surface, you can actually gain speed as if you were doing a slope boost, just in the reverse pattern. And you can get a lot of speed to this to go towards bird box, but I will stress that this is actually a really difficult strat, and I myself struggle pulling this off. Dude, that cookie. This cookie is so good. Okay, so a good inverse slope boost looks something like this. On the way back from Swirling Container, there's actually a really tiny slope here that you can boost off of to get a lot of speed. So say I broke the piece, I would then boost off of that to get back to the wind tunnel faster. Here's a fun one. You can actually initiate a war run by slope boosting off the edge of one of these paths. You can actually use this as a really fast way to get into the lower room, but I will warn you, it is really hard to do this. After getting in front of the double containers or double containers piece 1, there's like 4 pieces on this slope. You can actually just slope boost off the edge to get towards this hint faster. So the fastest way to get towards this hint, you'll see a lot of people grabbing the piece, say I got double containers and just gliding across to it. As you notice, that takes a lot longer, especially since there's a perfect slope, like right here. Like you can just drill dive off of and then you're right next to the hint immediately. We're done with slope boosts, let's do slope jumps next. So probably one of the most important slope jumps in the stage is the one to get to suspended ceiling really quickly. So usually what you'll see people do to get to suspended ceiling is either climb like this, which is really slow, and then do a spiral up here, or you'll see people get a bunch of height from this wind tunnel, which is equally as slow because the more time you spend in the wind tunnel, the worse. And either just glide across or parkour from here. Some people will even parkour off this pillar and get up there. These methods are really slow. What you can do instead is actually just this. So what I just did is a slope jump off of the tiny slope of the side of this chest. This chest actually counts as a slope. Like if you stand on it, you'll notice that there is a directional slope here, and it actually has a gradient. There's an even steeper slope right at the edge, which is the one that you're trying to jump off of. So to do this, you want to do 2 really tight A button inputs next to each other to make sure that you don't break the chest like I just did there. So if you press A2 quickly, you'll glide into the chest, therefore breaking it. And if you press A2 late, you won't even get a jump off of it. So you want to make sure that both of your A button presses are timed just right, so you jump onto the chest and then jump off the chest. And if you do it right, you should get launched all the way up into the air. And from here, you could actually get it so that you have enough height to just land straight on the platform, which makes it so much faster than everything else. But if you don't, then you should only have to climb on the wall for like maybe a split second here. This one's really stupid, but you can actually do it on this chest too to get up to the full swirling / rolling ice pieces. This is a really, really cool slope jump, and probably my favorite in the stage. It's kind of dumb to learn though, and it barely saves time. I mean, it saves a little bit of time. It saves you like maybe half a second to a second, depending on how quick you did it. That was a really fast example. And yeah, it's up to you if you want to learn this one or not. It's actually really sick though. The normal and perfectly acceptable way to do this would be to just slope jump off of the side of the head here and then go around. You can also do this to get to the sandy path piece too, that's the far walk, into this platform here. And you can also do this to get to red gate, the one that's in the box on this ledge. Fun fact, I actually just demonstrated it perfectly there, but fun fact, you can glide straight into the side of this box and not even have to break it. You'll hit the hitbox anyway. I can't believe the piece was actually there, let's go. So there's actually a slope ledge here that goes all the way around the top of Sandy Path. That goes all the way around the top of Wild Canyon Track, and you can use this to your advantage to get on top of the statue storage area things if you don't have enough height by just slope jumping off of it like that. If you just want to flex or you're a maniac, you can actually use this chest red circle too. And finally, you can actually get a lot of height by slope jumping off the forehead of the statue. This trick is kind of weird, and it's also timing dependent on the A button press, but you can get so much height out of this. You can grab this piece, and people usually use this to grab center of the 8th pillar, which is probably the fastest way to grab that piece for you. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you learned more about Wild Canyon and how the slope boosts around the stage and such. I hope you learn more mechanics about the game, and I hope you continue to learn about hunting, because this category is awesome and deserves more people. Yeah. I might make another one of these soon, so keep posted for more hunting updates. Peace out.